Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the stream. Today I'm going to be playing Evolution, a digital board game, or a digital version of a board game that I enjoy. I used to not really like this game, but the more I've played it, the more I like it. And I also had it on my phone for a while, the digital version. And I really liked the digital adaptation of it, but my phone does not have a lot of space on it, so I can't really. It's also not a great phone, so it can't really play the game as well as I'd like. But I saw that it was put on the Switch, so I'm very excited to play the digital version again. And if anyone wants to get it, I would love to play with you guys at some point. So let's jump right in. I believe there is a tutorial. Thank you so much, Elijah, for the subscription. That's very appreciated. Kayla, thank you for the subscription.
This place is spectacular, full of species beyond your wildest dreams.
Sophia, thank you for the subscription. I'm going to keep the alert boxes up. I am going to hide the stream overlay stuff because I don't know what the game is going to have as far as like things popping up in certain areas of it. So I don't want to cover anything up by accident. Yeah, so it does require that I have it teach me the game, or at least I think it does. It's not letting me press anything. Is this touchscreen? Oh man, if this game is touchscreen only, I'm gonna lose my mind. 1 second, just took it out of its dock. No, it doesn't seem to be touchscreen only. Maybe it just doesn't work with a Pro controller. Let me pop out my Joy-Cons. Hey, Lord of the Board. Yeah, Evolution came to the Switch. Not today. It came out a couple days ago, I think, but I never noticed because I have not been to the Switch store in a while. It's so weird. It's not doing it for here either. Oh. Okay. So it's working when I am in here. Oh, man. Okay, let me pull it out and say teach me the game, even though I know the game. Just so that everyone gets a chance to learn it. Hopefully that's the only part that requires touchscreen. Or requires handheld mode. Look, right there, your species is hungry. Press A to feed it. Excellent. That food is worth 1 point at the end of the game. Your goal in evolution is to eat the most food. Add population to eat more food. Press A to select a card, press Y to play it as population. Okay, so it is allowing me to use the Joy-Cons. I don't know why that main menu part had so much trouble with that. Okay, so A to select a card. So A to put a card on my character as a card that I want them to learn. So for example, if I want my character to be a forager, I can play it on them. Let's look at the cards. Alternatively, I can play them for population to raise the population of my character. So I'll put it there, and I'll turn it into population. And that one, you know what, let's give it another population. Let's have 3 of my character. It's going to eat. And my opponent's gonna eat. And then, oh no, I only had food for one, so 2 of them die off. So those populations were wasted. Which I think it forced me to do just to sort of teach that mechanic. Emerald, I swear to God. What is happening with that bit? Also, Lord of the Board, if you're free later, I would love to play the Game of Thrones board game with you. I am playing it on my stream around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're available, let me know. So let's give it as a trait, so that my creature will now forage. And let's do the other one as population. So my species is now adapted to eat faster, which means I should be able to eat both of these food before my opponent can eat. Which means my opponent should die off. Because now there's no more food left, and they have starved to death. So this is another thing, is, oh, okay, it's still teaching me the basics of, like, creating characters. I thought I was going to jump into a game now. So now we have another species. Same art style, though. And we're going to give this one cooperation. Actually, hold on. Yeah, they share one food to the right, so I don't want to give it... Where you place them matters. If I give this one cooperation, it's going to feed whatever's to its right, which right now is nothing. So I want this one to be cooperative. And that way, whenever that one eats, it's going to feed the one next to it also. Each round, you add food to the watering hole. The number on the cards is their food value. I've got 2 population, which I can bump up to probably 4, 2 and 2 this round. I'd really like this one to feed... I'd really like to add this one to the one that cooperates, so they can eat an additional food as well as pass that additional food. My opponent's adding food also, and I'm going to eat first, so I'm going to have this card be the card that goes out for food. Because I don't want there to be too much food. If there's too much food, my opponent will get to eat also, and I don't want my opponent to eat. So I'm going to add foraging as a trait to this one. And then I'm going to raise their population. I'm going to raise their population as well. Okay, actually, it doesn't let me. It wants me to add another species. Well, in that case... okay, fine. I'll add one there. Not going to be a lot of food, so we may be in trouble. Oh, they put it in 4, so we might be okay. So if I eat with this one, it's going to get an extra food and pass it to the right. So both of them are fully fed now just from that. Unfortunately, none of them died because they were able to eat. However, none of mine died either. And I got more points because I ate more food. I'm going to put in... They're only giving me foraging and cooperation. I guess to learn right now. I want to make sure there's a good amount of food. So I'm going to put in the foraging that gives more food. I'm also going to give this one a similar strategy as the one in the middle. Ah, shit. I didn't mean to end my turn. Oh, well. Probably for the best, actually, because I don't know if I'd be able to fully eat. Oh, so they are getting very effective. There's only 2 food left. I'm not going to be able to feed everybody. If I take that, I can pass one to them. But yeah, one of my species dies out, and one of the other ones loses some of its population. They've turned the tables on me. So because I'm going to eat first, and they just starved me out a little bit, I'm going to starve them out a little bit. Put that out there. So since this one has cooperation, it's going to pass food to the right, but there's no one to the right. So I'm going to make someone on the right. I'm going to increase the population of that one. And actually, I'm going to undo that one. I'm going to increase their population with that card instead. And play that there. Oh, they're getting populous. There's 4 food. That is not a lot, but it could be enough for me if I could eat it all in one thing. So I'll eat that. I'll take all 4 of the food, pass it down, and then they pass it down to the next one. I've completely starved them out with that giant turn. So this is the last round. They don't have any species, so they have to create new species. They get 1 for free. Long neck's a pretty good one because it allows you to eat before the feeding process even begins. So I'm going to play long neck on this leftmost species. And if I'm correct, it should allow them to eat and then continue to pass it down. Let's... I already have that trait. I did that. What are you talking about? Play my trait cards. I did. I want to raise population now. Okay, it doesn't want to allow it. Fine, then I will add cooperation there, and then I'll add a new species, so that hopefully all the food gets passed down. So they eat beforehand and just feed everybody right away, before there's any food in the watering hole at all. So there's only 2 food to go around. I'm completely fed. And they only feed one of their species. It's all about efficiency and combos. You get points for how many traits you have, how many population you have, all the food you've eaten throughout the game. So I got 29 points and the opponent got 13. I'm going to lower the game volume. It seems a little loud to me. Carnivores. So, we've been playing with herbivores so far. Carnivores are a little different, obviously. Instead of eating from the watering hole, they eat other creatures. So right now, we have characters that are eating plant food. So I want to make sure I can eat plants. So I'm going to put some food in there. I'm going to eat first, so I probably didn't need to put the 5 in there. But I don't know when I'm getting that carnivore card. Let's make... How do I turn that zoom off? I don't need it right now. Let's create another species to the right and give this one cooperation and foraging. So similar to the strategy we did before. Ooh, so they have turned into a carnivore. They will grow claws, and their art changed as well. So they're now no longer going to eat food from the center. They're going to be looking to eat other characters. Must attack and eat other species. Which means I get all the food in the center, which is great. I mean, I don't get all of it right now, because my characters are full after 2. But they attack me. It kills my species by 1 population. Which, unfortunately, means they get to kill both. Because they had 3 population, so they had to eat 3 times. Only 2 of them got fed. So I need a way to defend myself. That's where cards that I did not get come into play. But I'm sure it'll introduce those cards a little later. So since they're a carnivore, I get all of this grass food, so I don't need to worry about it being a high number or not. I have 3 foraging though, so I'm going to use the foraging card with the lowest number. I'm also going to use long neck so I can eat before the feeding time goes. Oh yes, that's another thing. So carnivores can only attack creatures that are smaller or I believe the same size they can also attack. So we're going to increase the body size. The green number is the population. The blue is how big your creature is. So I don't need 2 cooperation cards. So I'm going to use one of them to raise the population, or the body size, of my species. So now it's bigger, and hopefully my opponent, which has a body size of 2, might not be able to eat me. I don't remember if you can eat ones that are the same size. I think you can't. I think they have to be smaller. So I'm going to leave it at 2. I'm going to give it long neck, so it can eat early. I'm going to increase its population as well. I'm going to get another species and increase their body size, so they're also too big to be eaten. So their population is 4, but their body size is only 2, which means they're not going to be able to attack me, I believe. So all 4 of them starve out because they don't have small enough prey to eat. Alright, now we're getting some other stuff. Climbing allows me to defend myself from predators because I can't be attacked unless they can also climb. So I can have a small creature, and as long as it climbs, then I'm protected. I'm going to put a lot more plant in because I think they're going to be a carnivore again. Climbing works well as an offense and a defense because if I'm a carnivore, it allows me to chase things that climb. And if I'm not a carnivore, it allows me to defend against things that climb. So I'm going to make a new species, and I'm going to give it climbing. I'm going to give this one cooperation and foraging. So that this one can eat, it can eat a lot, and then it can pass that on to this one, and then this one is climbing, so it's going to be safe anyways. They're raising their body size, so they're very likely going to eat. Yeah, so they are a carnivore. They're going to get a chance to eat my smaller creatures. They can't eat the one that's climbing, and the other ones have already eaten. So as unfortunate as it is that they will die, I have already gotten the points for the food. So I'm going to eat with the one that climbs. They're going to attack my big one. It only lowers its population by 1. Actually, it lowers my population by 1 because my body size is 2, which means they get 2 pieces of meat for attacking me. The bigger your body size, the more food you provide to a carnivore that attacks you. Now, I can become a carnivore too. Unless it forces me to, I think I'm going to avoid that. Because I have a lot of food in the center that I can have. Ooh, so they're pretty big now. Okay, so it is going to make me a carnivore. Alright, in that case, I will turn this creature into a carnivore, replacing the long neck. And in order to make them effective, I need to make them big. So at a size 4, it should be able to attack any of their species. I'll give that one cooperation and foraging, so it can eat very well, and pass it on to that one. So they're going to attack first. They did not. Okay. It was just turning my character into a carnivore, right. So, you have to attack other species to get fed. I should be able to eat with these. Yeah. So I'm going to eat with them first. That way, if they attacked me, I would have already fed those characters, so it's not a big deal. Now, as this carnivore, if it'll allow me to look, yeah. So I can attack any of these 4 species, and you'll notice that I can even attack my own species. Sometimes you want to raise creatures that are weak just so that you can farm them yourself and eat your own allies to keep yourself fed. But the one I want to get rid of is their carnivore because it's too strong, so I'm going to attack their carnivore. Now, even though their body size is 3, which would normally give me 3 food, I only have 1 population, so I only get 1 food for that. They ended up getting more food than I did because of that. This is the last round. I'm going to boost up my carnivore's population so that I can eat more food when I attack them. I'm also going to be going first, which will be effective. There's already a lot of food in there, so I'm going to put something I don't care about. I'll put cooperation in there. So they can't attack the one that has climbing because they don't have climbing. And they can't attack my carnivore because my carnivore is too big. So I'm going to focus on population and just raise the hell out of its population. So I get a ton of points for eating this time. I'm also worried they may raise their size. So I'll raise my body size by 1. In case they raise their carnivore to size 4, I wouldn't have been able to eat it. So I'm going to eat with my herbivore first. So they also have climbing, so I can only attack their carnivore. But I'll do that, giving me 3 food. And then I'll do it again. And I've killed off their carnivore species, because they did not get a chance to attack me, and they couldn't eat anything. We get points for our food, points for our traits, points for our population. And that gives the opponent 13 points to my 30. New species sighted. By Jove, we made it to base camp. Does that mean the tutorial's over? Because there's a lot of cards. It was feeding me specific cards, but there's a lot of cards it hasn't shown yet. Coevolution, welcome to the Explore campaign. Discover new opponents and environments here. Yeah, so I think this is proper gameplay now. Lions aren't especially fast, so they rely on teamwork and strategy to hunt. Each member of a pride has a specific role to play. Some flank the prey, while others lie quietly in wait. Is that giving me a hint that they're going to build lions this turn? Mastering each waterhole to advance on Evolution Island. Each apex species you can defeat will be added to your single-player menu. Legend holds that somewhere on this island, the fabled Dominator hides. Here we see nature's great arms race in action. As predators develop new strategies, their prey evolve new defenses. Warning Call warns nearby species of approaching carnivores. Warning Call protects the species on each side of itself. However, it does not protect the species that is on. Beware, some predators have evolved Ambush in order to sneak past Warning Call. Ambush only works on a carnivore. Species with a hard shell have the same defensive strength as those with a larger body size. Hard shell only makes a species harder to attack. It doesn't change its body size. So it doesn't make it easier to attack others, just defend yourself. Small predators can work together to take down species with much larger body sizes by pack hunting, which allows you to add your carnivore's population to its body size to get a new total attack size. It only affects attack size and doesn't help for defense. Be warned, this is a vicious watering hole. You must take first place to advance and fight the mighty carnivorous Barbarous. I don't think it's introduced to the card yet, but there is also a card that gives you, similar to pack hunting, it gives you a higher defense if you have a high population. So I don't have any carnivores right now, and I don't have any carnivore cards that will give me carnivore. So I am going to get rid of Ambush because I don't need that right now. I'm going to use Hard Shell to create a new species, and then give this one Cooperation and Long Neck. So when it eats, it'll feed its ally as well. There's no carnivores yet, so I'm not really afraid of anyone. I've already eaten, so I'm not worried about food waste. And those species have died off. Or those populations. I now have a carnivore card, so I think I may turn one of those characters into a carnivore. I'm going to put in that -3 food so that hopefully some of them starve off. Because remember, this one's going to eat before any food appears. So I don't really have to worry about that. I'm going to create a new species as my carnivore. Let's use this card. Let's use a carnivore card to create a carnivore. And we're going to make its body size big so that it can eat any prey it comes across. And we'll put this on that creature so that it forages food. Which is not super helpful now, but may be helpful in the future. Ooh, they have a carnivore as well. Zero food, ultimately. So a lot of herbivores are going to die off. My carnivore will attack this one. Actually, they're going to die off anyways because they haven't eaten food. So I'm going to attack this one with 3 traits. Oh, and they're attacking mine with 3 traits. I should attack their carnivore. to get rid of the other threat. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that. I meant to play it. Oh well. So you'll notice that this card has a green in the bottom right corner. That is because it can only be played to herbivores. I cannot play that card on my carnivore species. You'll notice the colors change as well. This can only be carnivores. This is defensive. It can be played on anything. This is only herbivores, and so on. Let's give a warning call to my carnivore so that it protects its neighbors from carnivores. Gonna increase my body size and population of my allies. Long neck there. And population of my carnivore. Oh, so they've gotten rid of their carnivorous trait. Oh, and they increased their size a lot, so I couldn't attack them. And they have the hard shell, so they're pretty much impossible to attack. My carnivore can only attack them. They've already eaten, so I'm not that worried about doing that right now. I'm more worried about feeding my herbivores. So I'll do that. Alright, and then it's carnivore time. Quite a lot of food. I'm going to put 0 in. I'm not going to contribute to the food this round. I still want to keep it just the one carnivore. I am going to increase its population and body size. And I'll increase its population to 4. I'll give my herbivores hard shells, so I don't have to worry about carnivores. Actually, I already have warning call, so I'm not worried about carnivores from that. I'm going to undo that move and raise their population instead. Unless they have ambush, my warning call is going to keep my herbivores safe. Hey, When We Can Game. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well as well. Let me know. Yeah, it's been a while. I was going through some emotional distress as well as physical pain from toothaches. So I took a week off. I didn't really intend to take a week off. It just sort of happened that way. But I'm back now to play some games. This stream is going to be relatively short compared to the usual ones because it's earlier in the day. But around 7, I'm going to be back to play some Game of Thrones digital board game. Pretty much all of my opponents have already eaten, except for this one here, which still has 1 food to get. So I think I'm going to kill them. Oh, nope, they're too big. Their defense is 8. I was going to kill them before they got a chance to eat food, but it is too late for that, so I might as well just eat the food myself. I'll finish off that species. I always thought that once they'd eaten, the food was already counted as a point, but this digital version is implying that it's not that way. That is good to know. Oh, the food is pretty low, and I do have herbivores that I want to keep eating. I could turn one of them into a carnivore this turn. Who's going first? Regularis is going first, across from me. So I'm going to get the third turn to eat. I think I trust that if I play this -1, I still will be able to eat. I hope. So I'm going to turn this one into a carnivore with pack hunting. Yeah, I'm taking care of myself when we can game. I appreciate the concern. I'm gonna be alright, I think, ultimately. It was just a small bout of depression. So unfortunately, my carnivore in the center cannot attack anybody. Because, ironically, its allies are protected by its own warning call. And all of my opponents are too big to be attacked. This one has a size of 5. This one has a defense essentially of 7 because of the hard shell. This one has a defense of 10. So that carnivore can't eat. This carnivore can eat my own carnivore because its pack hunting makes it big enough to do so. So that's going to suck. First, I'm going to eat with my herbivore, though. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to fully feed because that overzealous bastard just ate the last of the food. And I'll attack my own carnivore. Killing it off, unfortunately. I'm going to get a really early turn, so I'm going to make it -3 so that hopefully they all starve off. And I'm going to make this carnivore that I have huge. Both in population and body size. So that I can hopefully take down some of the harder to kill threats. Oh no, 0 food. So my long neck got 1 food already, luckily. But I won't be able to get anything else. Luckily, everyone else is going to die without getting food. And I can attack any of them. So I'm going to attack... Let's see. Who do I think has the most food? They've been pretty efficient on the left. So I think they may have the most food. I'm going to go after them. Plus, their body size being 6 means I'm going to get well fed. Alright, final point calculation. I had quite a lot of meat, which helped. And I have 43 points, and I am the winner. By a lot better than I thought I would be, too. Alright, Carnivora barbarus. Beware, legend holds this is a fearsome apex species. Or there is a fearsome apex species living here. Ambush, field observations. Crocodiles can spend months, possibly even years, without eating, as they lie patiently in wait for their prey. Their cold-blooded bodies conserve energy by remaining perfectly still. Apex species are boss opponents that are masters of a specific strategy. Beat an apex species to add it to your single player menu. This one just ate my hat. Alright, so I'm expecting them to be a carnivore. So I'm going to put in a lot of food for me. As well as giving myself a hard shell. Let's raise my population, because the hard shell I think will be enough to defend me from being eaten. They are in fact a carnivore. Their body size is 3 though, and since my body size is effectively 4 with the hard shell, I should be safe. Okay, they're going to get the first turn. Let's select food. I'm not a carnivore, so let's do that one. Even though it's going to be minus food, I should be okay. I'll give this guy a warning call. And then I'll summon 2 new species on either side so they can be protected by the warning call. Is he a carnivore? He is not. All right. Hey, Big Scooby. This is a game called Evolution. It's a board game that they released a digital version of on the Switch. And it's a board game I've played a lot at work, and I ended up really liking. Especially the digital version, because I love the... I don't like how zoomed in it is right now. But I like the animation. Like when you become a carnivore, how the claws come out. And when the watering hole is full of plants, it'll like make the area around it more lush. Food-wise, let's put in a lot of food. Oh, no, wrong one. Trait. Population. Population. Yeah. So they're raising their population a lot. I just have to hope that they don't put pack hunting on there anytime soon. When we can game, unfortunately, I don't think I have lurk set up. Not quite sure how to set it up, but I appreciate the attempt. Very much so. Yeah, I'd be willing to teach it to you sometime. It has a pretty decent tutorial that we just went through. Although I've played it before, I wanted to put the tutorial on in case anyone watching wanted to know how to play. I'm going to put in this hard shell, because I have a lot of hard shells. I want to fill that with food to eat. I think they're about to turn into a carnivore and potentially have pack hunting. So I want to... Or ambush. If it's ambush, I'm pretty screwed unless I put hard shells on these two. If it's pack hunting, I'm screwed anyways. So I might as well go with the hard shells. And then I'll raise the body size of this one. Actually, I'll put cooperation on that one. Hopefully there's a lot of food this round. 7, so 9 total. That's okay. I will eat with my cooperator, so it passes some food down. There's not going to be enough food for all my species. So I'm going to focus on this one that has the most traits. So that'll lose 2, but it's not extinct species. It's just endangered at this point. They really give it up on their carnivorous strategy. Let's throw that in there to get some more food. I'm going to give this one cooperation as well, so that when it eats, it'll pass to that one, which will pass to that one. And I'm going to eat first, which will be helpful. So that passes some food down. 11 food, we got quite a bit to eat. I'm going to eat here, which will pass them down. And I'll do it again. So they lose 1 population, but we were very well fed, getting 10 points that turn. Continuing the food strategy. Definitely want to put a high number in there because they're going first also. Let's give cooperation to this guy. And then call in another species. In fact, I'll call in another one. And then give this one warning call. So that can protect... oh, I give warning call to the wrong one. Give this one warning call. So it can protect its neighbor. Very risky strategy, but we'll see how it works. Quite a lot of food. We should be well fed. Looks like that 2 of them will die. 1 of them will die off completely. It's my newest guy, but that's not a big deal. Waste of 1 card, but oh well. I'm going to go first. So I'm going to put in no food. I'm going to contribute no food to that. And then I'm going to max my population out a bit. So that when I eat, it should, oh, they got a lot of things in the last second. Any carnivores? No. Oh, crap. I really hope they put a lot of food in. 4? We're fucked. Alright, so I'm going to take all 4 of it at least. And pass it along. So they lost a lot, at least. That's good. That's not so bad, actually. My species all survived, even if some of them died. So that was a wasted turn for them. I'll put in a lot of food this time, since I'm not going first. And I'll continue that strategy a bit. Ooh. They're raising their population, which makes me nervous. I'm going to give this a hard shell. Raise the populations again. Similar strategy to last time. Alright, so no carnivores. That's good. 10 food. They're taking 2 of it. Not so bad. I'll pass it around. 2 of mine die. That's okay. No extinctions. And a ton of points. Final round. We're going to eat first. Let's put in a lot of food for this one. And if I eat first, I'll get a chance to attack them if I want to. If I become a carnivore at this last second. So I think I will. I'm going to become a carnivore on this one over here. They have a warning call on this guy, which protects this one. So I want to get ambush on there as well. Let's raise my population and body size. Alright, so the reveal that I am a carnivore now for one of my guys. My herbivores will eat. There's a lot of food in there. My carnivore is going to attack. I can kill any of them. I'm going to kill... the one that's already eaten some. I'm going to kill this one that has eaten a little bit, but not a lot. So I can negate the food they've earned. And do it again. Finish that species off. Alright. We got a lot of food. A lot of traits. A lot of population. I think I pretty effectively won that one. Doing better in every regard. Alright, 110 to 42. Not bad. The desert. Survival is even more difficult when the watering hole runs dry. DeAndre, I just saw your message on Discord, and yes, I did add you on Steam. Or I sent you a friend request. I think you need to accept it still. Gadzooks, it's hot. You'll need these new traits to survive this barren landscape. So it's introducing more cards. Scavenger, which feast off the remains that carnivores leave. They receive 1 food after every carnivore attack. Notably, this is an herbivore card, so you don't put these on predators because predators are not the same as scavengers. Defensive herding, this is the one I was talking about before. It uses population as a defense. Carnivores must have more population than the species to attack it, in addition to having a larger size. I'm going to turn my AC on the background, hopefully it's not too loud. I think I turned it on. I can't really hear it. If I can't hear it, you guys probably can't. There we go, I hear it now. Alright, defense herding, yes. Horns don't stop a carnivore from attacking, but it makes them pay afterward. Each time a horned species is attacked, the attacking carnivore loses 1 population. Let's get past this desert environment using these new traits. So I have a lot of carnivore options. So I think I'm gonna go carnivore right out the gate. So I'm gonna sabotage the watering hole by making it so not much food will appear. Six food, not terrible. I'm gonna eat it with my herbivore first, and then when it's my carnivore's turn, I can attack any of those three. I'm gonna attack the one. This one doesn't have a trait on it, so it's gonna be more harmful to hurt these ones that do. I believe if I kill this one, that one's gonna eat from scavenger anyways. But if I kill that one, the same thing's gonna happen there, except it's already eaten it, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna attack this one, just to show how scavenger works. There they go. They went and ate some of their ally. So 2 food is not very much. We're definitely gonna want to get a little stronger. Once again, we don't really want to add a lot of food to the center, especially since we're eating first. So I'm putting -2 in there. And I'm going to give a long neck to this creature, so it's going to eat before the watering hole is even filled. I will raise its population, so it'll need to eat again. And I'll give it defensive herding, so it's protected from some carnivores. I'm going to make this carnivore hungrier. More population. Ooh, which may have been a bad idea. Yeah, now my carnivore will not be able to eat because everything is bigger than it. Except for my ally, which is protected from defensive herding. So there's only 1 food to eat. Luckily, I get to eat it. So they all die off anyways, but my carnivore is lost as well. So we're gonna eat very late this time. So I'm gonna throw that one in to make sure there's enough food by the time it gets to my turn. I'm also gonna make myself a scavenger, just in case. I'll get another creature. I'll give them foraging and horns to defend from predators. We're getting 3 food to the watering hole. That is not going to last. Oh, man. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm going to put in this 7 foods that hopefully there will be a chance to eat by the time it gets to us. Let's see. I've got Scavenger, Long Neck, and Defensive Herding right now. Let's raise population by 2. Create a new species. Give its... Oh, let's not use horns, though. Let's use Defensive Herding to create a new species. Give it Scavenger and horns. And hope there's enough food by the time it gets to our turn. Alright, good. Everyone got to eat. I'll put it in one food since I'm going second. I don't want there to be too much food in there. I'll raise population. And body size. I expect we're going to get a carnivore soon. So we're adding -2 food. Ooh, boy. This desert is really starving us out. Those long necks are doing well, though. Much like giraffes. Last round. I only have 10 points. Ooh, I really think I'm going to lose this one. Fuck. I think I'm going to have to spoil it by doing the -1. I don't know what I can really do. I suppose I can make myself big and a carnivore. Let's hope there's food in there, though. Otherwise, that long neck's useless. Well, I guess if I'm a carnivore, it's going to be useless anyways. Man, I did not do well this game. Those long necks are super effective. Alright, good thing I turned carnivore. So most of them are going to starve. I can attack any of the highlighted ones. I want to attack one that's already eaten so I can take back that food. So I'll attack this one. Because it doesn't have horns either, and I don't want to attack one with horns. Notably, the Scavenger, even though it's an herbivore card, it does seem to pair with carnivore. So, being a carnivore, I got to scavenge my own meal. So, hot off the wheels of doing so well the previous game, I got demolished this time. Last place. Didn't even medal. Alright, so I'm going to have to do that one again. But I'm going to be ending the stream. Thank you all for swinging by. Emerald, When We Can Game, Big Scooby, the 3 subscribers I had earlier, which I believe are YouTube subscribers. Thank you very much. Very happy to be streaming on YouTube now. Gonna have to make a YouTube-specific subscription box, though. Yeah, later. I will be back on later, in fact, to play the Game of Thrones board game with my friend Joseph and some of his friends. And hopefully Lord of the Board, if he is available. It is my favorite board game of all time, and the digital version, I think, is pretty damn good. So thank you all for coming. I will see you at the next one.